In this video, I am going to talk about something that is common and critical to all SaaS businesses, their pricing pages. This is where all the effort of the sales, marketing, and the product development team finally converts into a sale. So if your pricing page is not well designed, there is a huge potential that you might not be converting enough customers and leaving revenue on the table. So I will talk about different aspects of user experience that can help you create a pricing page which converts. Let's jump right in. Create your pricing plan such that each plan is targeted towards a specific buyer persona. As soon as a potential customer lands on your pricing page, they should be able to quickly identify themselves with one of the pricing plans. Make sure that you do not leave them to go through long list of features and check marks to figure out which plan suits them the best. Your customer very often will not know what they are looking for. So longer they take to make a decision, higher the chances that they will not convert and move to a competitor. Now there are three key elements that you need to include to tailor these plans to a specific persona. Number one, including demographic information. That is, size and type of the target company, job role or title of the person who is evaluating the product, or highlighting the use cases and challenges of the user that your product solves. Second, highlight the features that are most valued by your target user. And third, based on market research, set the prices based on customers' willingness to pay. For example, Appcues has done a great job in terms of highlighting the persona and the challenge it solves for that persona. Adding a company logo over here is a neat touch because it instantly helps me identify with the plan even if I have not read the whole thing. They have also highlighted the key features in each plan, and then when you scroll down, they have a detailed analysis and comparison of what each plan entails. All of this makes it really easy for the user to pick a plan without having to go through these comparison tables and evaluating all the features. Try not to overwhelm users with a lot of plans on the pricing page. Unless each of your plan is targeted towards a specific persona and they can easily identify themselves with one of the plans. According to Hicks law, the more options you will present to the user, the more time they will take to process that information and then make a decision. In an article that was published on Harvard Business Review, 3 is the ideal number of pricing tiers for products across different industries and domains. Most of the SaaS businesses have between 2 to 4 plans, so go beyond this number only when you're confident that you have a specific buyer persona or product capabilities that are not being captured in your already existing plans. Otherwise, just keep it simple. But if your pricing is not as simple as having 3 tiers because you have a lot of a la carte options, or you give the ability to buy extra seats for users or prorate based on time or usage, then make sure that 1. It is easy for them to customize their plans, and 2. They are aware of the cost upfront before signing up on the product. Do not surprise them with the invoice in the email at the end of their billing cycle. You can easily do that by adding drag and drop interfaces or sliders that can help them visualize the cause and effect take place. Mixpanel's custom plan builder is a good example of how it should be done. This whole interface is so clean that it gives me an impression that this whole process is going to be super simple. So it gives me a slider to choose how many users Mixpanel will track for me in a given month. As I move the slider, it updates the prices in the real time. If I don't know how many I should pick for myself, they also help me do that over here. There are a couple of add-on features which I can add or remove. Over here, I can change the billing frequency, and you'll notice that all of these changes directly reflect on the amount over here that I'll be invoiced as soon as I click on the sign up button. This also adds a degree of playfulness that helps users better engage with the product. Key value metric is what and how you are charging for in your pricing plans. For example, if you're a cloud storage platform, you might charge someone based on how much storage they are using, or if it is a collaboration platform, you might charge someone for how many people can collaborate under a single account. Now, these examples might sound really simple, but it is extremely important that you choose the right value metric for your business. Your value metric should 1. Align with the needs of the customer, 2. It should be easy to understand, and 3. It should grow with your customer. For example, I'll again go back to Mixpanel. So their key value metric is monthly tracked users, which is essentially what I'm choosing by moving the slider. It does align with the needs of the customer because Mixpanel's value proposition is the extensive amount of user data that it holds, tracks, and then creates reports on top of that. It is not so easy to understand the term once you read it because it is not an industry standard metric, but they have a whole page over here which helps you understand what it exactly is. And finally, Mixpanel helps its customers acquire new users by giving them insights into product usage data, which in turn helps Mixpanel grow. So their growth is directly baked into their pricing model. On the pricing page, sell the solution that your product offers instead of just selling a list of features. When the user is evaluating your product, they have a need or a problem that they are looking to solve with your product. So the pricing page should heavily talk about benefits and outcomes, because unless the user has a clear set of requirements in his or her mind, they are going to have a hard time mapping features with the problems that they could solve for them. As soon as you land on the Intercom pricing page, the first aspiration that it creates in the mind of the users is that this is the place where you create great customer relationship. And when you scroll down, you'll notice that each of their pricing plans only talk about the benefits that the user gets instead of just talking about features. So instead of saying something like rules-based chat, they say customize your chat workflows with rules and automation. Now this is a very small change in terms of how this feature is presented, but it makes a huge difference in terms of how user perceives its value. Arrange your pricing plans from the most expensive plans on the left to the cheapest plans on the right. According to a research conducted by ConversionXL, users displayed a higher tendency of choosing an expensive plan when it was placed on the left as opposed to when it was placed on the right. And this happens because of the anchoring bias, which means the first price that the user sees heavily impacts how the user perceives the value of the subsequent plans. For example, MailChimp has arranged their pricing plans with the most expensive plan on the left and the cheapest plan on the right. And they have also priced their premium plans so high that their second most expensive plan at $14.99 seems extremely reasonable. And since they have also highlighted their plan as MailChimp recommends, I believe this is the plan that they are trying to sell to their customers the most. If you are offering your product in more than one country with different currencies, you should localize the prices of different plans. So that means if you are an American company offering a product in UK as well, then you should have a pricing page reflecting prices in Great Britain pound apart from the standard pricing page that you might have in US dollars. According to a study done by Price Intelligently, this could potentially boost your revenue by more than 30%. There are multiple ways in which you could do this. If you are an early stage startup that is still finding the product market fit, you could do a cosmetic localization where you can just convert the prices in real time by using the live exchange rates and IP address of the customer. Or if you have an established product that is expanding into international markets, you could go for true localization where you create different landing pages with prices based on customers' ability and willingness to pay in that particular market. For example, SurveyMonkey automatically localizes the prices based on users' location. So for example, right now I'm sitting in the US and these prices are visible to me in US dollars. Now I'm going to use a VPN and change my location to UK. All my prices are now visible in Great Britain pounds. And products like MailChimp even offer a drop down that lets you change the currency apart from automatically changing the currency based on user's location. It is always a good idea to highlight the plan that you want your customers to buy. There was a research done again by ConversionXL which said that just by highlighting the plan, you could boost your sales by more than 5 to 10%. And this happens because of simple human psychology of looking for social proof. This is like when you go to a restaurant, you're almost always confused about ordering a drink. At least I am. But as soon as someone else orders, most of the people just order the same drink as well because it is indeed the most popular drink. While most of the products already do that, Intercom has taken it to the next level by highlighting their most popular plan and adding a data metric to it. They say that 53% of the businesses have chosen this plan, which creates an impression in the mind of the user that they are making an informed and a data-backed decision. Build trust amongst your users by addressing their fears, uncertainties, and doubts on the pricing page. They might have questions about security, privacy, billing policies, refunds, and whatnot. Talk to the customers who bought a plan and users who did not convert and understand their questions regarding pricing and answer all of them. And make sure that this information is not buried in some PDF or document that users cannot find. Slack has done a great job in terms of addressing all their customers' FUDs, and they check all the boxes in that department. First, they tell you that all your data is encrypted, and then instead of just saying that they are compliant with all the privacy laws, they have added logos on their pricing page. And then when you scroll down, they have the logos of their customers and customer testimonials, which builds trust and assures users that they will be in good company. And finally, they have a fair billing policy, which says that they do not charge for inactive customers, and they even have a prorated pricing, which just ensures that customers leave their pricing page with all their queries and concerns being addressed. Now, this does not mean that all of these UX techniques would work for you right out of the box, but these are all tried and tested methods that have helped some or the other SaaS business in the past. So it is worth testing with your customers whether it works for you or not. Otherwise, I wonder everybody would have done it by now. So keep testing with your customers and iterating over your pricing page. In the next few videos, I am going to dissect the pricing pages of all the examples that I have used in this video in detail. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss a video from this channel. And I'll see you all in the next one.